Awesome. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Career Evangelist podcast. And we are thrilled to welcome our guest, Zack Oliva. Zack happens to be my first guest that is local here in Houston. Zack is a managing partner at Oliva Gibbs. Zack is a seasoned leader with extensive experience in the energy sector and a powerful track record in business leadership. His expertise spans complex legal challenges and scaling business, making him an invaluable source of insight for any professional that is looking to navigate the corporate landscape successfully. So I am excited to welcome our guest, and I'm sure you guys will find this beneficial. So join me as we listen to Zack and I'll hear him share his strategic vision and practical advice to empower you on your career journey. Hey, Zack, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. And it's great that we're both in Houston. We're both enjoying the great weather
Oh, yeah, I
for
like.
once.
Oh, but we are expecting the cooler weather here.
Yeah,
The days roll by. So it's good to have you, Zack. So, Zack, can you tell us a bit about your career journey? You are on the Career Evangelist podcast. So, we want to
sure.
about your career journey here.
Yeah, absolutely. I am actually originally from Ohio, and I graduated law school in 2011, and I was interested in getting into the oil and gas industry. Um, I talked to a professor of mine who was a mentor, and he said, if you want to get into the oil and gas industry, you should really think about Houston, Texas. And I had never been to Texas in my life. But I picked up the phone and I called I think around 50 law firms in Houston. And I found one that was looking for a lawyer who was licensed in Ohio. And I moved down, basically a week later, and I started at that law firm. Since then, that was in 2011. And in 2013, I left the firm that I was at and I started a law firm. And that law firm has grown over the years. We now have about 75 employees. We have offices in Houston, Oklahoma City, Columbus, Ohio, Lafayette, Louisiana, and Midland, Texas. And we work with oil companies all over the country. We work with them on transactions, we work with them on litigation matters. And so it's really been a great experience. Um, Most of my role, at Oliva Gibbs really revolves around leadership and specifically helping to develop the leaders in the business. I spend a lot of time and energy on trying to learn the most that I can on leadership development and coaching people so that I can help my team get to where they want to be. I very much buy into the servant leader, mindset, and I'm always thinking of ways, how can I help the people on my team? That's really all I care about is I just care about helping them. And last year I started an investment fund where I manage money for high net worth individuals and high net worth families. And I'm currently raising capital for that fund. So that's been my journey so far. I think the more I get into leadership, the more I realize that it's very much a practice. Much like the practice of law, leadership is a practice, and I frequently make mistakes. So I'm trying to learn from those mistakes a little bit faster these days.
Uh, okay, I like that, Zack. And I like what you said about leadership, that it's a practice. And when it's a practice, that means we have to continuously learn and get better.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
Definitely get that. Also, when you were talking about your story, moving from Ohio to Texas, that resonates clearly with me because I came from Nigeria,
Oh,
uh,
wow.
also in the oil and gas business. And when I was making the decision to come to the US, that was the same question that I asked, and that was the response that I got. If you want to continue your career in the oil and gas industry, Texas is the place for you to go. And I
Yeah.
moved around here maybe in 2010, and ever since I've been here. And I think it was a good decision for me to move here because I've been enjoying my career in this industry. So I get what you are saying right there.
Yeah. I think you had a little bit longer of a commute, to move here than I did. But I think
Oh.
it's been a great industry to work in,
Mhm.
and it's a very relationship driven industry. And so I really invest a lot in the relationships that I've developed over the years, and they're really important to me. And every time I work with someone or I meet someone, I really hope to keep that person, as part of my network and as a relationship for a very long time. So, I'm very much a long-term kind of game guy.
Oh, I love what you just said about relationship. And I think that is core. I tell people that the relationship is a currency, right?
Mhm.
And you need to continuously develop your network. So can you maybe tell us more? How do you develop good and quality relationship that, will help you down the line, especially when you consider career growth?
Sure. So I think that the people that I've seen develop the fastest have been people that number one know what they want. It's very difficult to go somewhere if you don't know where you want to go,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Two, they're open to different approaches to get there, which means that they're usually like very coachable, and they don't have a big ego, or they don't have a fixed mindset about, well, this is the way that it's going to happen. And what I found is the more open that I become to different ways of doing things, I can usually get where I want to go faster, cheaper, and in a more interesting way than the way that I thought that it had to be done. I read recently, there's a great book called 50 Ways to Create Great Relationships by an author named Steve Chandler. And in that book, he talks about, really the goal of a relationship is, if you imagine um, like a scale, so weighing, a scale that weighs two things,
Mm-hmm.
you should always put more on the scale than the other person. So your goal in a relationship should always be to help someone more than they've helped you. And if that is your system, things will work out very well for you in life. If you just constantly think of, how can I serve this person? How can I help this person? Then I think that you'll have a very good life, without expecting anything else in return.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. So what?
I think when you start to expect something else in return,
Uh-huh.
that's when you start to keep score, which is, I don't think it's a good thing to keep score.
Yeah.
And also you can build resentment that way if, now one-sided relationships aren't good. The relationship has to be two-sided in some way, some sort of engagement. But yeah, I don't think you can keep score in relationships.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. What you are saying right there is that people need to invest in relationships. So thank you for sharing that. So looking at your career journey, and I'm thinking about your practice, your business. What are some, because for you to grow to, you said you have about 75 people that work in your company today.
Mhm.
Can you share some of the challenges that you faced while scaling that business?
I think probably the biggest challenges were related to my own mindset. So I had to get over those. Another big challenge that we had was people. I mean, businesses, any business in the world is made up of people, and the better those people are, the better your business will be. So for a long time, we had people in the business who were maybe not a great fit for the culture that we were trying to create. Maybe folks who didn't really want to be held accountable. So you couldn't rely on them a lot of times to get things done. Um, and I think that the more that we have developed our team, um, and brought excellent people into the business,
Mhm.
the faster and the better we've grown. So really, I mean, it's all about people.
People. And
Mhm.
you've mentioned a couple of times now about mindset, and I know
Mhm.
you are advocating, encouraging people to develop a growth mindset.
Mhm.
Can you tell us more about that? How can we develop growth mindset?
Sure. So I think the first step is just being open to it and being open to change. And being open, I like to say that whatever your current results are, your habits are 100% getting you the results that you have. So the system that you have in your life, in your career, since this is the career evangelist podcast, if you're not happy with the results that you are currently having in your career, then it's not your boss's fault. It's not your company's fault. It's not your coworker's fault. It's your fault. Uh, and your current system for going about your career development is 100% aligned with the results that you're getting. And it's impossible for it to be otherwise, right?
Yeah.
So if you want things to change in your career, then you have to change. Your habits have to change. Sometimes your personality has to change. I have, there are certain times in my life and in the course of being a co-founder of Oliva Gibbs where my leadership style was not getting me the results that I wanted to get. And so I've had to change aspects of my personality, and of my philosophy about work, about leadership to get those changes. So I'm open to making those changes. But I think that, the first step really is just being open to the fact that if you have any aspect of your life that isn't working the way that you want it to work, you need to understand that you need to change that system because it's this your system that is not working well. And people that I have seen in my life who have been really successful at changing that fast, quickly, have done quite well. And I think also it's absolutely a life hack to either work with a really good coach or be very good at cultivating mentors. I have not been great at cultivating mentors in my life. That's something that I am working on now. I've never really had a mentor in like a formal capacity until recently. So I'm really looking forward to that experience. But I do have, business contacts and clients who have really been great over the years at cultivating mentors, and they go really fast in their career.
You are spot on right there, Zach. I say that the way you put it was exactly what I learned. I think some years back when one of my managers told me that, hey, your career, you hone your career, and to get promoted, you have to be responsible for it. Nobody
Yeah.
Someone else would look at you and say, hey, yeah, let's go and promote this guy. You have to advocate
Yeah,
yourself.
you
You
have to be your
have
biggest advocate.
exactly.
You have to be your biggest advocate because I mean, companies are big. A lot of companies are big, and um, you have to be your own advocate. You have to take the action. And I think also when it comes to mentorships, working with a mentor, the mentee
Hmm.
is the one who drives that relationship. You can't leave it, even there, you can't leave it up to the mentor. You have to proactively, here's what I'm looking to get out of this relationship. Okay, can we meet on this day at this time? Here's the information that I want to get. Here's where I need help. Show up with a plan because people are busy.
Absolutely. So we both belong to this energy space, and
Mhm.
you started maybe a couple of years back. Now,
Mhm.
looking at the energy sector today, in your opinion, how has this industry evolved, and where do you see it heading for the maybe next foreseeable future?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think technology is a lot when I first started in the industry about 2011, so almost 15 years ago. Technology wasn't as prevalent in the industry as it is today. I think AI will just speed that up. Also, when I was in the industry, when I started in the industry, social media wasn't as big as it is today in the industry, especially like LinkedIn and Twitter and all those other things. I think that they have very active industry, participants. One of the other things that I've noticed over the years is that the industry has gotten more politicized,
Right.
where renewables are on one side of the political spectrum and oil and gas is on one side of the political spectrum. In my opinion, those two industries are going to have to work together. And
Absolutely.
so they're going to need to collaborate, especially, um, given that my belief is that oil and gas companies will be the largest actors in the renewable space moving forward because they're experts at delivering energy to customers. And so I think that the conversation should be toned down a little bit, and it should be, hey, our global leaders have enacted these policy standards that we all are going to have to operate under. And so, how do we work together as a country and as an industry to make sure that we are still keeping the lights on in the homes across the world?
Absolutely. And that's the approach that most of these big oil and gas companies are taking today. They are also diversifying and expanding their businesses to include renewables. And you are also spot on there. And now let's think about young people that are entering this field today.
Mhm.
What do you think they should do, or maybe what skills do you think will be essential for them in order to develop and grow in this industry?
I think that if I were a young person entering the industry today, I would spend an afternoon going on LinkedIn and just browsing people and find someone that you think has the coolest job ever that seems like they have an awesome career. And I would send that person a message and ask them to meet for coffee and learn everything that you can about their career. It's so easy these days to access people that could be potential mentors. It's crazy that more people don't do this. I think another thing that was different than when I started 10 years ago is that more and more companies are using technology in more and more different ways. And so keeping up with technology, I think, and how that technology can benefit your company, even if your company doesn't use that technology, if you can be an advocate in your business for, hey, if we use this technology, we will drive down costs or increase revenue by whatever. then I think that if you can be an advocate in your business for that, I think that's amazing.
That's awesome. Uh, Tell us, I know you have this investment fund company
Mhm.
that you just started, and you are serving the high net worth individual. So what range of uh, income or net worth are you looking at? Is that $1 million plus, or how does that work?
Sure. So in order to be an investor in the partnership, you have to have a net worth of about $2.5 million, which doesn't include your primary residence. And it's best if you have um, you agree with the value investing philosophy and you know what value investing is, and you don't want to do it on your own. And that's why you would work with the partnership.
Okay. Now, when I think about people that go into business, you have started two different businesses.
Mhm.
I just want to hear about their motivation. So for these businesses, what motivates you? What's your inspiration for starting these two different businesses?
Sure. So the law firm, I mean, really the inspiration there is that we want to be the best law firm in the energy sector in the United States. In order to get there, we need to hire great people. We need to grow our team, um, help grow their careers. And I love working with people that are really motivated and that are high quality people. And my motivation in the investment fund is that, I mean, I've done well, very well, professionally over the years. So this is a way for me to work at investing the money that I've made alongside with other, really great leaders and entrepreneurs, in the partnership. So, I just really believe in business and investing and business ownership as a vehicle for personal growth. And so it's just really been an adventure for me.
Awesome. So we are now in our rapid fire question section.
Oh, okay.
The favorite business book, Zach?
Mm, Favorite business book, probably The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham.
Oh, I love that as well. I have it in my bookshelf right here.
Great.
So I love that. One word to describe your leadership style.
Um, Growth.
Growth. Most challenging project or client that you've ever dealt with.
Myself.
What's your biggest inspiration, Zach?
My biggest inspiration is my daughter. She's 2 years old. She doesn't know yet how to make an excuse to not do anything. So, for example, when she learned how to walk, the fact that she didn't know how to walk did not stop her from doing it.
Absolutely. One career tip that you'll give to your younger self.
Mm. Relax. If you just get a little bit better each day, everything will fall into place.
What's the most favorite part of your job?
Working with my team.
Working with your team. What's one career accomplishment that you are most proud of?
Last year we received several awards. Uh, Inc. 5000 award for one of the 5,000 fastest growing companies in the United States. We're also one of the fastest growing companies in the energy industry. We also won best places to work in the United States, one of the best places to work, voted by our team and our all of our people on our team. So that was really great. And we were ranked as a law firm in an organization called Chambers, which ranks the top law firms in the country.
Awesome. That's great accomplishment.
Mhm.
That's very good, Zach. So what's next on your career horizon?
I just want to really keep continuing to work with my team to grow these businesses and hopefully help get everyone at our businesses where they want to be in their careers.
finally, how can my listeners find you, connect with you so that they can continue to learn and enjoy, be a part of your career journey?
Sure. LinkedIn is the easiest. You can find me on LinkedIn, Zach Oliva. I'm very active on posting on LinkedIn and would happy to be connect with everyone.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Zach. It's been great having you on the Career Evangelist podcast. We enjoy this conversation, and I look forward to connecting with you and be a part of your journey. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.